in, and everything is going to be all right. Here we are talking about tracking, filming, recording today. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? It's the Urban Therapy with Sun show, Saturday afternoon, just like we always do right about this time. So I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. We got a good show for y'all this afternoon. It's going to be good. This has sparked some conversation and maybe get our cerebral juices flowing. You know, it's something to think about. It's something to ponder on a little bit, a little something. You know what I mean? Eeny, weeny, teensy, weensy bit. Today, on this 22nd of March, the second day of spring. I don't know if all of y'all realize that it was spring now. You know, now they making daylight savings time all extra early and everything like that. You may have thought that spring happened a couple of weeks ago, but it didn't. This is the official start of spring as of yesterday, the 21st of March, and this is the second day. So we are, we are in full swing, full takeoff, and everything is going to be cool. But we're talking about the right to film, track, and record. The right to film, track, and record. In these days of social media, you know that people will break out their cell phone and record any and everything that's going on out there in the world. And listen, sometimes you may be on somebody's phone, somebody's computer screen, somebody's TV, somebody's device, tablet, whatever. And you may not have approved that, or you may not approve of it. And you may not think that is right. We live in a society nowadays, since they started putting cameras on these phones and they gave it video ability, everybody is making a movie out of everybody. And while you're out in the public, you cannot decide what gets filmed and what doesn't. They say that anything that is filmed in public is fair game. Like, you cannot stop a person from reporting you if you do something in public. Now, and I'm going to say I know, and you may know of times, examples where there were definitely exceptions to that. You may know of some times when you like, yeah, they say that anything that you film out in public is fair game, but I know for a fact that I have seen people film police activity, film the cops, arresting or collaring a suspect or whatever. And I've seen cops get violent with people who were filming. I've seen them arrest people who were filming. That's a little different than having the freedom to record anything that's out in public. The police are public servants. They're supposed to be public servants, but the way that they handle certain situations sometimes makes it seem like they operate by a different set of rules. So you may have seen something like this or encountered something like this, maybe even watch something like this on a video somewhere with somebody doing something. So how do we know for sure that it's okay to film in public? What are the exceptions? We can get into all of that. We can get into all of that. We don't have to go into that right now. But at your jobs and things like that, there are many and plenty of jobs that put restrictions on what you can record, or even if you can record anything inside of the facility. It's a private entity, it's a private company, private property, premises, private, and they can have some say so about what you can allow or disallow, or let me say it right. What they can allow or disallow to go on inside of the confines of their business. And you may agree with some of those things, you may disagree, but that's what we're talking about. That's what we got. That's how we going out. That's what we talking about today. Is about to go down. I'm coming through to say, hey, what's going on, y'all? T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. What's going on, ma? And also, grown woman, don't try me. What up, grown woman, don't try me? Good to see me some you. and Buttercup 25. What up, Buttercup? What up, Buttercup? And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Wow, she's about to turn it out. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Emily. I thought I pinned it. I could have swore I pinned the number. But good looking out. So yeah, the right to film, track, record. The right to film, track, record. The right to film, track, record. How do y'all feel about that initially? What are y'all thoughts about people filming stuff, feeling like they have the right to film conversations? And you know what? As far as recording conversations, when I say film conversations, you may be having a private conversation with somebody out there in the streets, and somebody is within earshot. They just turn on their phone, and if you talking loud enough for the microphone on the phone to hear, then they can record your whole phone, your whole conversation between somebody. Next thing you know, that shit could end up being viral on social media and whatever. This is the kind of life that we're leading now. This is the kind of world we live in. You don't know what's private and what's available to be seen out in the public nowadays. Somebody could be recording you and feeling like they have the right to record you just because you had a conversation or you were speaking out in public or whatever. And it can be a problem. Yeah, there are a lot of layers to this. They are. Because let's say you record the music in an outside concert. You go to an outside concert, and that's public, right? That's the public. You record the band or the musical act up on stage, and you recording them singing a song or whatever. If you post that on your social media page, it's going to be a problem because they're copywritten. There are copyrights on the songs that they're singing. So although you have the right to record it, if you post it, you'll find out that you don't own it. So it seems to me like there should be a little bit more information available about what the restrictions are or the permissions are when it comes to recording or filming or whatever. And I don't know if a lot of y'all know that a lot of phones that y'all use, a lot of the cell phones that y'all use have the ability to record phone calls. Well, if you're paying attention to your phone screen, it'll let you know if somebody is recording the call. But I don't think that was always available. I know for a fact that I have talked to people on the phone and they recorded the call. And I know it because they played it back for me. That's illegal. If you tape a phone call, if you record a phone call with somebody or record a conversation that you're having with somebody without letting them know that you're recording the conversation, that's actually against the law. Now, it's probably a misdemeanor. I don't think that it's a felony. But that's one of the reasons why if you try to trap somebody into admitting something on a phone call or whatever, it won't be admissible in court. You're going to lose that fight. It will not be admissible in court. They're going to tell you, well, you didn't let the person know that you were recording them. So yeah, it's like this tape doesn't exist. This recording doesn't exist. Now, if you let somebody hear it, if you let the court hear it, or whatever, they can't unhear what they heard, right? So even though it may not be admissible, will it become a determining factor about whether somebody is convicted or not? Who's to say? Who's to say? It's like when the judge rejects an objection to some evidence or a claim made by the defense or the prosecution or whatever. Once the jury hears it, they heard it. So they say, well, we have to strike this from the record. You heard it though. Now the question is whether you're going to believe it and if it's going to influence your decision to convict or acquit. So it can get kind of deep. Let me do the intro. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Saturday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Saturday. And it is Saturday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. And you know how it go. Yo, give me a couple of minutes so I can get my flow together. No matter the weather, hot or cold, we gonna come out and do this thing. The truth has to be told. And the game was not to be sold, but we still sell it, and I'm about to tell it. Yo, I spell it. Make sure I spell it right. Get everything that I'm saying right. And while we in sight, we going to take it to another place. Everybody get back, move back, clear out space so I can get loose like a caboose. It's all on the back. We going to pull up the red, and I'm going to give you something that you're going to want to just share. Two, throw your hands up in the air. And yo, I see you right there. I'm on camera. I see you stop and stare. And yo, hang out for a while. It's going to get good. We're going to talk about a little something. Maybe a little hood. Maybe a little job. Maybe a little fam. Maybe a little, relationship that I am in or not. Yo, you got a lot going on. Sit back a little bit, little Sean. Yo, I'm going to talk to you about this thing. Yeah, I'm going to treat you like a queen or a king. All right, let's go. So let's start off here. Let's start off in the workplace, shall we? In the workplace. Let's see. Hold on. Emily says, "Well, I only have one person who I use that recording feature on, and that's because I know they twist words and lie." All I'm saying is it's illegal. It's illegal, but it's not going to become an issue unless that person tries to sue you. And what are the chances? They probably just refuse to talk to you on the phone anymore if they find out that you've been recording them. If you're using it just for argument's sake, whatever. Of course, you're going to control the situation, and people just going to watch what they say around you. Like, oh, nah, man, Emily she be recording conversations and all of that. So make sure y'all don't tell her where the stash is. Make sure that she don't know where the cash is. Make sure she don't understand the activities. Don't be telling her because she be recording shit. So if you talk about where X marks the spot, trust me, she gonna know where X marks the spot. I'm not gonna lie. Whether it's Emily or anybody else, I think recording conversations is lame. I ain't gonna hold you. I think it's lame, but that's me. A lot of people see the value in it. Like you might be in a personal situation, just like you were talking about, where somebody be trying to twist it and say they didn't say certain things or whatever. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that drinks a lot or gets high, and they be saying stuff all out of their emotions and their feelings, and then later on they be forgetting what they say because they blacked out and all of that. And you might have to remind them. You got to remind them. And people don't like to be reminded of what they actually said. They don't be liking it. They don't be liking it. You thought they was mad for over nothing before? Start throwing their words right back in their face with verification that they said it. Believe me, the dynamics of your relationship is going to change. The dynamics of your relationship is going to change. When people start watching their mouth around you, yeah, it got different. Everything is different now. Everything is different now. But like I was starting to say, let's go to this whole job thing. Now, some people have work phones when they work at a job. Like if you are, I don't know, upper management or whatever, or just management. Well, not necessarily. I mean, some jobs just offer a cell phone or whatever that you will use for the job. So if it's a situation where you have to be in contact with the job or employees on the job, you may be issued a company issued cell phone, so they won't have to use your private number or your personal number where data rates may apply, or where they really have no right to demand that you answer your phone. That's the real reason. When your job gives you a work phone, it's because now they can say, no, you have to answer this. You got to answer this phone when we call. Not that you're on call. You're not a surgeon or anything like that. But just know that when this phone rings, it's an official call. That's why I don't know why people use their work phones as their personal phone. I ain't with that shit. Oh, the other real reason why I don't use my work phone. Here's my work phone right here. iPhone 13. I don't use this for shit except for the job. You know why? Because they can track this. They have the full right. Like, even if I turn off my location, they have the right to demand that I put it back on. And I can actually probably be written up or something like that, because they have the right to know where their phone is. They don't have the right to know where you are, but they have the right to know where their phone is. So just in case you lose the phone, they can go ahead and track it. You know, it's an iPhone. So, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna be able to use it. You know, so that's the thing. You have to take that into consideration when you downloading apps or whatever. I downloaded one app on this joint, and that's the YouTube app. So just in case imagine one of my devices going out, but nonetheless, I'm able to go on YouTube with myself. I ain't, no social media. I ain't downloading none of those apps. None of my personal information, dealing with like bank information or nothing like that. I don't want that on my work phone. It can become an issue. Now, when everything is going right in your life at your job, you probably don't even have to worry about being tracked or anything like that, because you ain't in the shit. But when you get into a situation where things can get sticky between you and another coworker or something like that, and they are tech savvy, and I don't know if you've ever had a falling out with somebody at a workplace, and they started trying to make you look bad and defame your character, or make it sound like you not doing this, that, and the third, or that you're acting inappropriately. And now all of a sudden, the location on your phone starts to become an issue. Now they see how you at work on social media half of the day. I do not understand why people use their cell phone. I guess they, when you first started to get a work phone back in the day, it was a big deal just to have a work phone. Like, look, I got a work phone. I ain't gotta wait. No free minutes, free nights and weekends and all of that. I ain't gotta worry about that. I use my cell phone. I can just call. They paying for everything. They paying for calls. Yeah, it was sweet back then. It was sweet back in the day. What up, Peters Smelchel? I don't know, Smelchel. If I'm saying your name wrong, please excuse me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Charge it to my head, not my heart. And I don't have any of the choices that you were just talking about, Messi or Ronaldo, because I don't watch. I got nothing, my dude. I wish I had an answer for you, but I got nothing. What I have, nothing. I'm like Whitney Houston. I have nothing. But I'm going to choose Ronaldo because he sounds more of a winner to me, like than Messi. I think you're talking about boxing. But anyway, I haven't followed boxing in a while. I couldn't tell you who's good at what. Speaking of boxing, though, Boxing world lost one of their favorites, one of the greatest ever. George Foreman passed yesterday. Shout out, rest in peace to George Foreman. Talk about a comeback in your career and in life. Talk about that. George Foreman, he pretty much a hero to me. A very good example of somebody that was wild and violent in their younger years, and kind of, maybe Muhammad Ali could be credited with knocking some sense into George Foreman. Things changed after the rumble in the jungle. Things changed for George Foreman after the rumble in the jungle. But nonetheless, at your job, they have the right to record phone calls. If you use not record phone calls on your work cell phone, but they have the right to monitor the calls, so they can see who you're calling and they can monitor your activity. They may not necessarily do anything about it, but they can monitor it. And that could be a very revealing thing. Like if you've been for the people who work at home, for example, you work at home, so you're supposed to clock in for a certain amount of hours when you working from home. Your cell phones say that you across town. Your cell phones say that you in the market. Your cell phones say that you at the car wash. Your cell phones say that you at a museum. Your cell phones say that you are at a parent-teachers meeting over at the local elementary school. That's what I don't know where you were, but your phone seems to be out in these other places. Well, let me put y'all on with a little trick for that. There's still call transfer or call forwarding. So with call forwarding, you could forward your calls to your personal cell phone and be out doing whatever you want to do. But the tracking for your work cell phone would still be in the house where you supposed to be while you out in the Family Dollar or at the park, sunning out on the beach. Yeah. You might still be getting your work done, but you're not where you were supposed to be. And shout out to everybody who works from home, who had been working from home since the pandemic, and now you got to go back to work and you pissed. People are mad. I don't blame them. You get used to working at home. So yeah, but you know how like when you get calls from a company, bill collectors and all of that, that's one of the reasons why they have to tell you that the call is being recorded. And they always say for training purposes and all of that, but that's not the real reason why they are recording the phone call. I'm going to put y'all on with something, and this is pretty valuable information. If a bill collector calls you and they tell you that the phone call is being recorded, and they tell you that up front, you should say to them, okay, I'll take the call, but I do not want this call recorded. And that will be recorded. So if they try to come back later on and say, well, you agreed to recording the call, you can always say, no, check the tape. I said I won't agree to having the phone call recorded. And the reason why you don't want to have the phone call recorded is because if you disagree or you dispute something going on with the debt that they say that you owe, they have on tape that you agreed to it. So if they trick you into saying that you owe something and you dispute that you really owe it, but they recorded the phone call, so they have it on tape, you submitting to the fact that you owe the company. So tell them no, I won't. I don't want you to. I don't submit to having this call recorded. So two things are going to happen after that. Either they will continue with the call and you'll be in the driver's seat, or they're going to tell you, okay, well, we have to terminate this call. I've had the latter happen to me. Whenever I've told them, no, I don't want this phone call recorded. Click. They out. They out because they don't have any leverage. Many times these bill collectors, they have bought, first of all, the actual company that you may owe, they have charged off your account. You have the choice about whether to pay them or not. But when they sell your account information to a third party, and that third party comes after you, you don't have to pay them. You don't have an agreement. Like, okay, so let's say you had a Macy's card. You had a Macy's charge card. You ran it up and you didn't pay them. You didn't pay them, and then Macy's, they didn't put it on your well, it may have been on your credit report, but ultimately they charged it off, and then they sold your account to a third-party bill collecting agency. So that bill collecting agency calls you and they try to collect the money. They're going to get the money for themselves. They already paid Macy's for your account. So when they get paid, they're going to tell you that you're paying off Macy's, but you're not. You're paying them. They're getting free money. Free money, baby. And a lot of people don't know this. So you want to watch who you want to watch allowing your phone call to be recorded by the collection agency. Don't submit to that. And you have the right not to submit. For y'all scaredy cats that let everybody run your life because you owe some money, I appreciate the transparency of your guilt, and you know how you want to do the right thing even though you didn't pay somebody. You do the right things, but you still owe. No judgment, no judgment. Shit happens. Shit happens. But do not allow them to record your phone call, and you have the right to reject that. So that's one. Peter asks, do you prefer football or soccer? I don't prefer soccer at all, but I do recognize and submit to the fact that soccer is the real football. Soccer is real football, but I like American football. And I like it a lot. A whole lot. It's my favorite sport. And I definitely follow that. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, at your job, you know, you might have to really watch out for the things that you do. Jobs have cameras all over the place. So they can, it's supposed to be for your safety. It's always for your safety, but it's for their security. Companies have a right to protect their money. And keeping you safe inside the confines of their buildings is one way of protecting their money. Because if you get hurt, let's say you slip and fall. You slip and fall on the floor or whatever, and you do it within the area of the cameras. So the camera saw exactly how you slipped and fell or whatever. It can make the company liable, or they can say you didn't even slip and fall. You can clearly see on camera, you looked up at the camera, and then you laid down talking about some, I twisted my ankle. Or you said, look, there's water on the floor. I think I'm going to, boom. Oh, I'm so hurt. Oh no, don't nobody touch me. Don't nobody touch me except for the lawyer in the ambulance. Lawyer in the ambulance. Ambulance in the lawyer. Lawyer in the ambulance. Ambulance. Lawyer. Lawyer. Ambulance. Ambulance. Lawyer. Ambulance. Lawyer. Ambulance. Yeah. Yeah. So when you see a bunch of cameras up at your job, they're protecting their money, and they have the right to, and they actually should. But do you agree with that? Because how do you know the extent? How do you know the extent to what what they are recording? Have you ever been on a job or in any kind of building or whatever and wondered if they could see you in bathrooms and stuff like that? You ever wonder about that? Remember the two-way mirror? Y'all remember that? Remember back in the day, they used to have a two-way mirror in dressing rooms and in department stores. It was used to be able to catch shoplifters. Y'all remember that? And the crazy thing about the two-way mirror was you could see through it. You could see somebody watching you. Now, maybe in some department stores, they had a really good two-way mirror where you couldn't see a person seeing you. Because the only way that you could really see the other side where somebody could see you was if their side was lit. So if it was dark on their side, it would be very hard for you to see them. But still, the two-way mirror always looked a little funny. It didn't look as clear as regular mirrors, so you could kind of figure out if they were using the two-way mirror or not. I think they got rid of two-way mirrors because it was a violation of privacy. Let me see. Do they use two-way mirrors in department store dressing rooms anymore? Okay. This is what it says. While the use of two-way mirrors in department store dressing rooms for monitoring customers is a historical practice, modern stores are more likely to use cameras and other surveillance technology for theft prevention rather than two-way mirrors. Here's a more detailed explanation. Historical context. In the past, some department stores used two-way mirrors in dressing rooms as a way to monitor customers and prevent shoplifting. Shift to cameras. With advancements in technology, stores have increasingly transitioned to using cameras and other surveillance methods, which are more discreet and effective. Legal and ethical considerations. The use of two-way mirrors in dressing rooms raises privacy concerns, and regulations regarding surveillance in such spaces vary by location. Modern practices. While two-way mirrors may still exist in some older stores, it's more common to see cameras, often disguised, or other surveillance systems in place. Okay. Example, a TikToker revealed that some Target stores have two-way mirrors in overhead offices that overlook the sales floor, but these are used for administrative purposes and storage, not security. All right. So, my people's idiotic genius was good. What's going on, my people? It's good to see me some you, without a doubt. Grown Women Don't Try Me says, I think they still do. I don't trust mirrors in dressing rooms. If it's a regular mirror on the wall where you can see the brackets, you know what I'm saying? Like if the whole wall is just a mirror, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, that look a little fishy. But if you can see like the brackets or the holders or whatever, you might be like, okay, this might be all right. It might be all right. Grown Woman Don't Try Me says, I bring my clothes home and try them on. And if they don't fit, I return them. Yes, they do use cameras. I know for sure. Okay. Idiotic Genius says, if you think there's hidden cameras around, just open your camera on your cell phone and look for a purple infrared light while you scan the room. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. Now that's good info. Do me a favor, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Heat it up like flame, heat it up like flannel in the summertime, hotter than the July. I'ma get by. You don't like this show, give it a little try. I guarantee if you come through and see me, you going to hit the subscribe button. You'll see it's going to be all right. The Dimples D's, yeah, McIntyre guy, Dita, what's going on here? I see y'all. Thanks for coming through, y'all. You know how we run up the score and how we do. Everything is going to be okay. And I say that we do this thing, urban therapy with some way. And I stay Germantown, born and raised, moved to North Philly, where I got the praise up, and everything's going to be all good. Let's get one thing understood. What up? What up? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? So yeah, at your job, monitoring calls, tracking phones. Before I leave this whole example about the jobs, and by the way, if y'all want to call into the show, y'all know what it is. You want to call into the show, don't hesitate to call in. Y'all know this is a totally interactive show. No censorship on the show. If you want to call in, speak your mind, speak your piece, get it off your chest. You know what I mean? Get it out of your head space or whatever. The number to call is area code 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said a 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-874-1949. And we get you right on up in here. You think we won't when we will? Oh, we gonna do it. We gonna do it. TK Wright says, she says, I don't mind tracking the phone, but I hate social media monitoring. Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about right now. Social media. Just like I was saying, I don't know why people use their work phone as their personal phone. I swear to God, on my work phone, I don't even give my loved ones my number. Ask any of my loved ones, yo, what's his work phone number? I don't know. They ain't gonna know. Like the hood niggas say, you can't call me there. You can't call me there. That's dare, D-E-R-E. You can't call me there. Where? There. Where? There. You can't call me where? There. You can't call me there. I say no. I don't care how much you cry. I don't care. I got a phone call. You can hit me up on that. But you ain't calling that cell phone for that. Yo, when I'm at the job, and I ain't trying to hear nobody from that who ain't at the job. You can call me on my phone. And I don't have nobody at the job know my personal phone. All right. Social media. People be so quick to put, they so happy to have a job. They so happy to have a career. They want to show everybody that they work and that they are somebody and they do an important job. They be putting, when you put your place of business, when you put your job on your profile, on your social media, now you have officially given your job the right to monitor your social media account. All because you said where you work. Where do I work? I work at such and such and such. I work at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I work at the Red Cross. I work at the Salvation Army. I work at Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, SEPTA. Now you have given them the green light. You have legally allowed them to monitor the activity and the things that you say on your social media account, because you have given the world representation of the company that you work for. You ain't have to do it. I would have told you straight up and down, don't do that. Do not put your job on your social media account, because one day you're going to get mad at the job and your dumb ass is going to post something about your job. Yeah, these boys, my bullshit ass, my nut ass supervisor coming around here trying to get somebody fired with a bitch ass. And I work in the department of she don't even know how to do her job. All she don't know how to do is get people fired. I can't stand that bitch. 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 She get on my nerves. I can't stand that nigga. He ain't nothing but a hurt. I can't stand that bitch. I hope she get what she deserves. I can't stand that bitch. I'm about to do the curb on it. I can't stand it. And they don't pay me enough. And I can't deal with this bullshit, and life is real tough. And I'm going to tell you something. Since they don't pay me enough, I'll be taking pens and paper and toilet paper and trash bags and all kinds of products. And like, look, I got this St. Jude's Research Hospital. Look at this mouse pad. They got the premium mouse pads. If you want one, let me know. Dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. You's a dumb. You's a dumb motherfucker. You's a dumb. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. Stop fronting. Hit the like button. You're like, yeah. He's a dumb motherfucker. Yeah. He's a dumb motherfucker. He's a dumb motherfucker. He's a dumb motherfucker. You be going out like a herb. Yeah, you a sucker. I saw the things that you put on your profile when you got laid off. All I did was smile. They ain't lay your ass off. You know they fired your ass, and they was gonna do that shit quick, fast, and in a hurry. You tried to scurry to the unemployment office. Yo, they dissed your ass like you was really the softest. Little nigga, you ain't got nothing. You gotta go get you another job or something. I told you not to put that shit on your profile. But you put that shit on your profile. Yo, I got me a new job and a new child and a new lover. You posted your lover. You took all your lover's bitches down when he wasn't around. Now you're looking like a clown. Got caught with your panties down. All right, man. Oh, man, you'll be wailing, son. You'll be wailing. Y'all be wailing. All right, what we got? Dimples D's. What up, Dimples? All right, TK Wright says, that's why I don't list my job on my profile, because once you list them, you represent them, and you and they have the right to check. You know how people, y'all, for my regular people who watch this show all the time, people have come on here and tried to say that they knew where I worked and all of that. When people come on here and they ask where I work or what I do, did I ever tell them? I ain't telling you shit. Not on here. Don't worry about what I do or where I'm from. Or where I work. Don't worry about it. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you ain't finding out on here. You ain't finding out on here. No official business on here. You ain't gonna have them coming like, hey, yo, let me holler at you about what you said. Well, what I say? You know what you said. Well, here's the problem, Mr. McIntyre. Mr. McIntyre. Problem, Mr. Yeah. See, look, I just went too far. On here, my name ain't Mr. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's Mr. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, you know, back when I was stupider, hey, I'm wearing uniforms with the name on the with the company name on the polo shirt and shit. Like, nah, son, nah. I learned my lesson the hard way. On some real shit though, on social media, one time I saw this chick. She was posting pictures and she had on her badge. She had her badge. Her badge was turned around. Her work badge was turned around. And because it was turned around without her face on it and all that, I knew that she worked at my job. Now, she may not have worked in my building, but I knew that she worked in my network because I was like, that's our badges. I inboxed her and I said, listen, from your badge, I know that you work for the blah, blah, blah network. I would suggest that you remove all badges and all any type of indication that you work at this place, because when they see that, they can say that you are representing them or whatever. And you took the picture at work. She straight took the picture at work. I was like, and she thanked me for it, like, yo, good looking outside. I was like, yeah, okay, ain't nothing. I don't like to see people get caught out there. But she was doing it like, she was, I'm like, look at that badge. Badge right there. Bam! Okay. Idiotic Genius says, and what up, Cheryl Halsey? What's good? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Good to see you. Always. Idiotic Genius says, that's why I block all social media on company phones. I hand out, all company phones I hand out. It's for work, not for play. I don't monitor social media unless I get told someone is doing something unsafe at work and posting it. Oh, shout out to the dummies who go on social media from their job computers. Now, people don't do it as much as they used to, but if you remember, there was a time when going on social media from your laptops or your desktops was more popular than the cell phones. Because on cell phones, you had limited things that you could do through the app. You had all access on your computer. You could find out things, do things, know things on the computer that you couldn't do on the phones. Now phones allow you to do a little bit more, but there's still some things. There's still a couple of things that you may be able to do on social media on a desktop or a laptop that you may not be able to do or as quickly or as effectively on a cell phone. Troy Diesel, what's good, Troy D's? What's good? But good information there, Idiotic Genius. I appreciate that. That is top-notch, necessary info. Top-notch. Top-notch, baby. Idiotic Genius says, I just tell people I used to be a stripper until Twinkies ruined my career. You know what? Matter of fact, yes, used to be a stripper before the Twinkies messed up everything. Before the ho-hos and drakes, yo, I used to have mad steak. I was waving the sausage up in the air, had it in their hands. But now I'm eating so much cake that I'm trying to lose weight if I can. And a different life, a different world, had all the pretty girls. Right now, I'm just on the show with grown woman and Cheryl. It's just a little bit tough in my life. Got kids and a wife. I'm just trying to do the right things, be spiritual, not trite. Yo, pardon my candor in front of your grandma. You know I never disrespect, and I ain't trying to be waving the tech. I'ma put away the Mac 10, my friend, but remember when there was a time when my temper was all way up on 10. All right. Hit the like button, y'all. Stop being stingy with your likes. Stop being stingy with the likes. I'm being stingy. Stop being stingy. Like the show. You know what? After school. After school. You don't want to like the show? As a matter of fact, see my finger, see my thumb. See my fist, you better run. See my finger, see my thumb. See my fist, you better run. See my finger, see my thumb. See my fist, you better. See my finger, see my thumb. See my you. See my finger, see my thumb. See my mother. Yo, hit the like button or I'm get mad. You don't want to see me get mad because like my dad start ripping up shit, start throwing punches, and they go fast and really in bunches. I don't want to dislocate your eye, and I do that shit. If you don't hit the damn... All right. Doubles D says, on the other hand, privacy advocates argue that tracking workers' social media is an invasion of privacy and can create a toxic workplace. And I think so too. I don't agree with the monitoring, but guess what? And you know, when you get fired before the law can be implemented, what difference is what's that gonna do for you? What's that gonna do for you? Anybody else out there ever lose a job and got to pay a lawyer in order to try to get their job back? You know how expensive that shit is? This ain't no accident case where they don't, you know, unless we win your case, you don't owe us any money. It ain't like that. Shit. Oh, they had racism and discrimination at your job? Oh, yeah. Well, tell you what. Yeah, we're going to find out the truth about that. We're going to get at them. But what I need from you is this 10,000 for us to get started. Because, you know, we got to do an investigation. We got to get might have to get a private investigator on it and all that kind of shit. So give us 10,000 up front and we'll get started on this shit. Oh, you ain't got the 10,000 right now? Don't worry about it. We ain't going to do shit for you right now. But soon as you get that money, I think you got a case. You get the 10,000 and we're going to get on this shit. We're going to get your job back and you're going to get money for damages. You're going to get that money for damages. You're going to get that money for damages. Okay. Troy Diesel up in the house. Troy Diesel. I mean, at the end of the day, jobs do have the right to protect their money. We may not like it, but they do. I mean, if you were running your own business and you felt like you had some scheming, scamming ass, slime ball ass employees that are working for you and collecting a check, but they tearing your shit down in front of the competition and shit, making you look bad. Here you are working at Burger King and you online talking about how good McDonald's is and how fucked up Burger King is. Like that shit ain't even flame broiled no more. I used to love my job when we was flame broiling. We don't flame broil no more. Remember how you used to go by the Burger King and you would smell the Burger King from like 4 or 5 blocks away. You would see the smoke up in the air. You know what I mean? They had the good burgers, son. They had the good burgers. Remember them Wendy's, them square burgers at Wendy's? Them shits was top notch. And they was thick square burgers. You see them shits now? The burgers thinner than the cheese. You need to ask for extra cheese. That's the only way you're going to get a fat burger at Wendy's now. You working at McDonald's talking shit about McDonald's. Like, yo, the fries just ain't what they was, man. McDonald's fries and shit. I saw a documentary on the fries. Even the animals, even the bugs won't eat the fries. Why won't the bugs? If the bugs don't eat the fries, what you doing eating the fries? The bugs don't. And that burger, put a McDonald's burger out there on the streets. If a carnivorous animal don't eat the shit, them bugs ain't gonna eat it, and it don't decompose. What kind of beef does not decompose? It's literally flesh. I don't know about that McDonald's shit. I don't know that shit. They done shot that shit up with something to where it don't decompose. So somebody got you a quarter pounder on Monday and left it in the bag till Friday. You can still eat that shit. The bread, the bun might be molded and shit, but the burger, you can still put that shit in the air fryer. Listen, man, something going on, baby. Hit the like button, share, show, subscribe to the channel. After school, get a fair one. You know what I mean? Just give me a fair one. You don't want to like my show, but you want to be at the show. All right, give me a fair one. Give me a fair one. That's all right. You can't get along, get a fair one going. Can't get along, get a fair one going. All right. We're gonna be friends again, though. We're gonna be friends again. I ain't know. All right. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, Max, and chill. What's going on, my G? My brother from another mother, Ohio, is up in the house. What's up? What up? All right. Idiotic Genius says, when you're at work, you shouldn't be on social media anyway, unless you work for a social media company. I ain't paying people to play on TikTok. Yeah, I feel you on that. Even though I'm still a human being at work, I do what the fuck I want to do, but I'm not going to do it on your dime. Not necessarily. One thing I've learned from years of managing is that you cannot monitor every break that an employee takes. Call me break. Get it? All right. Troy says the book 1999 says Big Brother is always watching, whether on the street or on a computer, they're watching. And that's a fact. That's a fact. But if you know that, why the motherfuckers be doing such dumb shit? They like, well, who the hell is Big Brother? Is that like an R&B group? Oh, or was it a movie? Oh, the movie was called Four Brothers. Oh, I thought it was called Big Brothers. No? All right. I'm going to get back at you. Medita McGuy said, or should I say Medita McGuy says, I don't know about any of the fast food. Wait. I don't know about any of the fast food other than Popeye's fried chicken. I just love Popeye's fried chicken. Everything else is suspect. Man, that's shit. A lot of people must love Popeye's fried chicken. That shit high as hell. That shit higher than a mall. I'm like, yo, this is 2 piece and a biscuit. This shit shouldn't be no fucking $12. It's 2 pieces and a biscuit. 2, okay, maybe 3 pieces of biscuit. I mean, I don't know. Popeyes thinks awfully highly of themselves. They be like, our beans and rice different. They be, our beans and rice different. It's different, yo. You ain't never had no beans and rice like this. All right. Man. Buttercup told myself, Popeye's chicken is so delicious. Y'all, motherfucker. All right, man. Idiotic Genius says, when people make TikTok videos at work, the insurance companies will use that video if something bad happens. Facts. Now, I don't think you should be doing TikTok videos anywhere. But they do TikTok videos everywhere. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Okay, all right. So oh man, y'all wildin'. All right. Troy says, what Popeyes this shit here. I'm sorry I brought up fast food. And my big sister, I feel sorry for your mother. I feel sorry for your mother. Buttercup said the first one I see. ADIJ says it starts with TikTok videos at work, then turns into OnlyFans, and I can't handle all that. Ah, shit. Not the OnlyFans. Yo, man. Yeah, they need to do something about OnlyFans. That's a fact.
You have a call from
Troy
Diesel, all up in the house. What's good? How you feeling?
At some point in time, I was gonna call in, didn't you?
Well, I know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So that's all I need to know.
Yeah, man, what's going on to the family, man?
Yeah. Feeling like a real man should.
Listening to you, right? So at any point in time with social media and jobs able to look at certain situations, does it benefit jobs anytime? Because my thing is this, I don't condone that. But some people they got fired from doing stupid shit, racist shit, and posting it. And people posting it, them doing like some Karens, you know what I mean? Have got caught at work doing stupid shit, and they post this shit on the computer, and then they job to see it, and there you go, they fired.
Well, that's true. But if you notice, most of the Karens that you see in videos at jobs are taken by cell phone cameras. They're not normal. Yeah. It's not normally the surveillance cameras. It's almost never that, because they would have to release that to the public, and then they're not liable to do that. So, and a lot of jobs have restrictions on what you can record inside of the building. Like I worked at a data recovery outfit before, and you weren't allowed to film anything in that building. And I found out because I told her that I had something recorded and blah, blah, blah. She was like, you do? I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, you're not supposed to record anything, but let me see the video anyway, because it worked to her advantage. But she did let me know that, yeah, you can't record shit in here. But I'm like, well, why wouldn't they let us know that straight up and down? Now, and after she told me, it made sense that you shouldn't record anything, because it's a data recovery outfit. So you're literally working with companies' data from overseas and local, big information storage modules and shit. So yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. This was after I made mad videos. I had videos of me running up the steps and shit like that, challenging all kinds of nut ass shit. You know what I mean? But after she told me that, then I just didn't let her know I taped anything anymore. I didn't stop taping. I mean, who does that? But but I get it.
Stop taping. Who does that?
I mean, I respect the rules, so you know what I mean. I also respect my privacy. I respect my privacy to break the rules when it's to my advantage. Other people can't do what I do, but I'll do what I do though. All right. So yeah, the workplace is somewhere where you should be very careful about the way you conduct yourself. The crazy thing is, people on jobs, they really feel like, and I would like to say that this is just happening. It didn't used to be this way, but it has. It's been this way for a long time. People at jobs, at some point, they get to the point where they think that they can make their own rules and do whatever they want to do. They forget who's doing the paying and who's doing the getting paid. I don't know how you ever forget that, because when you strolled your ass up, when you was on Indeed.com, Monster.com, CareerBuilder.com, or asking your uncle, best friend, classmate, auntie, sister, brother, cousin, neighbor, y'all hiring at your job, you was humble as fuck. You was willing to do anything to get the job. You said anything to get the job. You dressed up to get the job. You conducted yourself in a kind, professional manner in order to get the job. You get on the job. Now you want to click up and act like gangsters. Oh, they can't fire us. Shit, we got this. They don't pay me enough for this. And I'm like, okay. All righty. Well, you just go ahead and do whatever you feel like you have the right to do. Because watch what they feel like they have the right to do. Yeah, at that will, at will state shit. They will show you. They gonna fix
like
you.
The movie of Will Smith, enemy of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much shit that you don't like. People think they do shit on the street. That's why I said Big Brother's always watching, because you can't go around any neighborhood and not be caught on camera.
Yeah.
There's a lot. That's why I don't understand. Because see, even if you're not caught on camera on a camera of people, I mean, from the state or from the city, when they got their cameras up, there's so many ring cameras around right now that you commit a crime, you get caught on something. Mm-hmm. You get caught on something. You're not just going to commit the crime and think that didn't nobody see it.
Facts.
And that's what I don't understand. You do the crime and they say, no, that wasn't me. Well, you waved at the camera, motherfucker.
Listen, man. Listen. Just like businesses, everybody wants to protect their money. But when you out on the street, you want to protect your money and your freedom. So you do have something to lose. I just don't understand how none of those thoughts come into play until it's a warrant for your arrest, or you know what I mean, or they slap the cuffs on you, or you being marched into the precinct. Now all of a sudden you got these moments of clarity. You know what I mean?
While you sitting in the sweatbox or you sitting in that cell, you're like, oh shit. Remember.
Listen, I've been arrested. I've been arrested more times than I would like to have experienced. And one thing about each holding cell I've ever been in or whatever, I always think about what I could have done differently. Yeah, and I'll be promising myself, man, evidently everybody don't go through that. Evidently some people are comfortable with this whole prison prison thing being locked up thing. I'm like, nah. This any time that I spend behind bars is way too long. I wasn't built for that shit. But my hard head said that I was. I'm like, we got an internal battle, and I know that in this internal battle, I'm about to jump the other side who ain't compliant. You know what I'm saying? We rolling on them. So whoever taking us to jail, whatever side of me is taking us to jail, we rolling on him like, no, the fuck you ain't.
Yeah.
So
fuck them up.
yeah, like these black militia groups are doing it to these neo-Nazis coming through. But anyway, but yeah, now they say that whatever you film out in the public eye, you're supposed to be able to film. You are legally allowed to film it. Here's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that somebody might feel the personal right to punch you in your mouth,
right,
or take the phone out of your hand and smash it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't tell you. Now, it's not legal for them to punch you in the mouth or take the camera out your hand and smash it, but it might happen. And you might have to litigate that after you get out of the hospital. If they're available for comment, because they might not be. But they say, you know, if it happens out in the public, you can film it.
Well, now, yeah, I mean, you're free to film, and they're free to whip your ass. But you also got to realize something behind that. There are cameras filming you whooping their ass. So after you broke the phone, after that person was filming you, the cameras caught you whooping the guy's ass for filming you.
Listen, the same way that you can film somebody can film you. Social media has proved that it's...
As Karis once said, overseer, over the officer.
That's what he said. Yo, and he was right. But yeah, real shit. You know what I mean? The amount of taping that goes on. And I used to be guilty of it. I'm watching this. I used to be on the subway, and I used to be taping all kinds of shit. It was sounds of the city. But I'm not going to do is have a camera right up in your face, like, you know what I mean, looking all crazy.
I mean, look at last week. Did you hear about last week? The guy caught the homeless guy pick a rat off the ground in New York and eat it.
No, I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, it was on TMZ. They didn't show the video, but they showed the guy. And then all of a sudden, the city said, "We got to go out. We got to get to him and help him out." For real, you think so? It took for them to post that for you to help him out when y'all should have been trying to help them out. Period.
Listen, man, New York, even in Philly, it's too many homeless to. I mean, most of the homeless are they have mental problems. They don't want to go in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want a house. And I know this for a fact because when I was working at the convention center, you know, we had an initiative to give all of the homeless that were in the area housing. We was paying for up to a year or more. They was out there protesting, not the homeless, but people, the homeless advocates was out there saying, no, you can't, we don't trust you. You just want to move them off of these streets and put them wherever you want to so you can just throw them away. I'm like, throw them away. They on the streets. Where we going to throw them away to the house? That's kind of like reverse trash. You know what I mean? Like when you throw something, you put it out. When you throw something away, you put it out. You don't throw it in the house. Like, yeah, get in this fucking apartment that's furnished with food in the refrigerator and heat. Get the fuck in there. You know what I mean? We're going to have you out here, you know, in these streets. But anyway.
I wish I would have you in this house eating food and being comfortable. Get in the house.
You know, I mean, it's a problem. And cities like San Francisco, it's even worse. It's even worse over there. It's bad.
I don't understand that. I'm kind of shocked on that.
Well, there's good reasons for it.
But they lighten them laws up. They lighten them laws up for them over there.
Well, there is so little affordable housing in San Francisco. Now, I still, can't discount the mental health aspect of it. But shit, even a sane person can easily become homeless in a place like San. I mean, those houses, the rent situation is crazy. I don't know how anybody. Notice very less and less people are saying that they from San Francisco. They be like, I'm from the Bay Area. And they ain't talking about no goddamn San Francisco because they can't live there. You know what I'm saying? That even your 6-figure salary ain't getting it out there. You in the 100s in San Francisco. That's like being like 40,000 here, from what I understand. But anyway, they say that anything that's filmed in public is fair game. But like I was saying in the beginning of the show, I don't know if you were here. I've seen people film police activity to make sure that the suspects that they were arresting were safe and they weren't being brutalized and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen the cops instruct people to stop taping. I've seen them take phones, and I've seen them damn near take lives over it. So where's the public law saying that you're able to tape in public? What about that?
Well, first and foremost, it's not against the law to videotape cops doing this job. And that's why some people continuously do it. But some cops, they should be having a body cam on when that whole situation is going down. But if they turn that body cam off and they do something behind the camera where so they beat that person up or hit that person or break his camera and take his camera from him, the first thing, once they post that, once somebody go to a news outlet or once somebody talk about it to somebody else and they go to a news outlet, the first thing they're going to say is, where was the cop's body camera at? Why was it not on?
Yeah. Now, do Philadelphia police wear body cameras?
Yes, they do. They're supposed to.
I hadn't noticed that.
They're supposed to.
Let me see here. Okay, it says, yes, the Philadelphia Police Department utilizes body-worn cameras with a significant portion of their uniformed officers equipped with them. A significant portion. So they don't all have them. Okay. All right. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Pilot program and expansion. The PPD using body-worn cameras in 2014 as part of a pilot program, expanding the program in 2017 to equip more officers. Current status. About 2/3 of the department's officers, roughly 3,750 out of the 5,700 are now equipped with body cameras. Training and usage, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there's still some cops out there running around with no body cameras. So that to me, that's an issue. That's an issue.
That's an issue, but you know what else happens? Like we all said, we both on the phone saying, Big Brother's watching. So soon as a cop does something and they don't have any body camera on them, then the street cameras or that ring camera, God forbid, hopefully that's being seen.
Hopefully.
They're in for a hell of a lawsuit.
Yeah.
They're in for a hell of a lawsuit.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, because that don't always go well.
I always try to tell you, I play with them things.
That's cool, and that's good for you.
Because at the end of the day, you just got to know who to go to talk about it, because you're not supposed to just go to any lawyer. You have to go to a lawyer that...
You have a call from...
Salary.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Getting caught up in court and all of that kind of shit, that's not what you want to do. Everybody doesn't have the time, effort, and resources to be able to do all of that. You know what I mean? Like if you about that life, you about that life. But the general population not about that life. It costs money to go to court. That's the bottom line.
What happens? You don't. If you get fucked up enough by that cop, you won't go to court.
Okay,
you got no
and that's
time
cool.
in your head.
That's cool if you get fucked up by the cop. But what if you didn't? What if it's not a violent type of situation? And 9 times out of 10, it's not a violent situation. It could just be that you got all of these tickets and shit for some shit that you didn't do. You know what I mean? You could have gotten a traffic ticket, which turned into an obstruction of obstruction of justice, or should I say, what they say when you are stopping the cops from doing their job? What they call that?
You was just saying
it could be obstruction, or they may say that you're resisting arrest because you know that you didn't do anything to get arrested, and now you getting arrested and all that. So you got all of these charges. Yeah, he didn't whoop your ass, but he didn't whoop your ass. But guess what? You got your ass whooped. Financially, you got a hell of an ass whooping, and you trying to prove that all of these things didn't go down or whatever. The lawyers don't take those cases for free. Man, ain't no we only get paid when you get paid, and not for those 10 stacks up front. Yeah, I'll litigate it for you. You got a good chance. I need that 10 stacks up front though. You know what I mean? 15 if you want me to do a hella job. So it ain't. You want to avoid all of that. So when we start talking about the right to be able to film anything publicly, it is what it is. And I remember a couple of incidents. And by the way, what up, Cheryl Halsey? I'm gonna get with you in just a second. Hold on. When the Pope came to town in 2015, I remember they shut a portion of downtown down, where you weren't able to travel there, even walk there. They had his route, and whoever was coming to see the Pope, they had it all roped off and had mad security there and all of that. It was in the interest of Homeland Security and keeping the Pope safe. Now, this is supposed to be a separation of church and state. Since when did we start protecting the Pope like with Secret Service, like he's the president? When we start doing that? And that's where we are. Now, I was working downtown at the time, and I remember them telling us like, yo, where you work right now, you can't go no further. So I couldn't go to Spring Garden. I was right there at Broad and Callow Hill. I couldn't go to Spring Garden. That was the restricted area. It was on some martial law type shit. And honestly, at the time, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? They're practicing and grooming us and prepping us for martial law. They just didn't do it, but they're seeing what our responses to it were. And because there was really no pushback over that, I was thinking like further down the line, watch, they're going to be able to make everybody stay in the house because they said so. And what happened 5 years later with COVID? What was you going to say? You ain't say nothing when the Pope came to town. You better not say nothing now, because now it's for your safety. In 2015, it was for his safety. Now in 2020, it's for your safety. Stay your ass in the crib. We catch you out. We catch you on the streets. We locking you up and fining you and all kinds of shit. So I mean, but that ain't had nothing to do with filming. But I'm sure you can still do that.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? How you feeling today?
Not good. I've been up ever since 5:30.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's my house at 5:30 this morning. But I'll be quick. This is a new one on me. They took down the camera, entering the house. Now they was looking for my grandson. He was around the corner. But have you ever heard of anything like that, Troy? Well, they removed the camera.
No.
From where?
Oh, this morning. They came to my house looking. Well, my grandson does live with me, but he was around the corner at his mother's house. And but the police took the camera, my camera stuff. Well, and I'm working on trying to figure out what that's all about. I was just sharing it, with everybody else. And I kept asking them for the warrant. They wouldn't present it because it was around the corner. And so I didn't understand it. But I'm nervous and my hands are still shaking. So this is why, anyway.
You wouldn't need a warrant to take anything from your house or even to come in your house. They can't take it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I kept saying. Give me the warrant. Well, my son answered the door. They said, Charles, you're under arrest. But they wasn't looking for Charles. They was looking for Chris. And they handcuffed my son and walked him on out of here. And then my daughter got here, and well, she owns this property. But the whole thing in a nutshell is she went for dessert. And my son was telling us when they finally got Bibles going off, I'm like, please get my son back in the house. He's not under arrest, is he? No. But he's done. But my thing was, this is my first time ever hearing of him taking down the tab. And it's just weird to me. And I was just running that by you. And also, I wanted to run this by you, son. Your lights. On my phone, there's 3 buttons at the top. When I hit one of those buttons, the screen comes down, and I hit my light every time before I even, say hello. So I'm wondering, is there something going on and you don't know about, or what? Are they taking your life? I don't understand it. Because I know everybody, hello to everybody in the chat too. But I know everybody is giving you life, and I don't understand it. So I thought I was going to type it, but at the same time, my hands were still shaking. My nerves were real bad. But I was just trying to figure that out, or they taking away some of your life. I feel that everybody we all have common sense. It don't take nothing to just push them and say, give you a life. So what's up with that?
I think from what you're saying, it definitely sounds like something that should be looked into.
Yes, I believe so. Because I know everybody in this chat, we love your show. I know I do, and I can speak that everybody else that's always here,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand it. But anyway, I was going to try to type it, but I'm still so nervous, after going through what I went through this morning, and then trying to come in and here's the kicker. They already had my grandson in custody. He was at his mother's house. And I kept saying, give me the warrant. Give me the warrant.
Give me the warrant. Your camera back?
No.
You still have your camera? Well, let me tell you what you need to do.
I'm working on that.
Don't call the cops. Don't call the cops. What you do is call your representative office. Right, and see if cops are authorized to do that. Just to see.
Well, they're supposed to give you a receipt for everything they take out of your house. And now my gun, I was on receipt for one gun. They didn't go with the other gun. They went all in my closet. And my grandson, yes, they didn't present it to me for 45 minutes. I'm steady saying, give me the warrant. I'm blocking my stairs. I'm not letting him upstairs. Mrs. Hoffman, you're going to have to move out of the way. Otherwise, we're going to have to handcuff you and put you in the car with your son. Trying to blackmail me, And I'm like, it ain't cool, But I was just wondering, had that ever happened to anyone else? Where they removed your cameras? I talked to a lawyer yesterday, and he told me no, under no circumstances were they supposed to touch your camera.
Yeah, I never heard of nothing like that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and
that's on. It's on.
My brother noticed it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mama, they took the camera. And I'm like, Lana, that's what you're supposed to say. But, you know, I was like, it was just crazy. It was crazy. It was doing all kinds of stuff. And then come to find out, the sheriff's department was only supposed to be here. This warrant was out of Pittsburgh, okay? And I'm in Tracy. And he said, oh, the Tracy department decided to give us a hand. Give you a hand on what? To come in, well, we already know how they go when they know that you black. And I've been stirred up a lot of ruckus out here, you know. But anyway, point being, I just want to share that because it has been bothering me, you know. Well, I ain't been to bed. Yeah, they banging on my door, and I'm like at 5:30 in the effing morning. Yeah, but the kicker is they already had my grandbaby in custody. They got him from his mother's house, and they still haven't charged him. You got 72 hours to charge, right?
Right. Put him in front of the judge, yeah.
Yeah. So they say maybe Monday or Tuesday, but what I'm getting from
so he got locked up. He got locked up yesterday?
Yeah, well, this morning, yeah.
Well, if that's the case, it's going to take until Monday. It might take until Monday because it's the
weekend. They said 72 hours. So I'm looking at, there ain't nothing happening on the weekend. So I'm looking at maybe Wednesday or so. I'm praying to God, you know, and he knows not to talk to nobody. And what I was told, you know, he got in with the wrong people. They claim they're watching. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But they had to leave his gun. They left his gun around the corner this month because that's where he's registered to. But they did take another gun, which belonged to my baby boy that I lost in 21. But it was under the bed. You know, but ain't nobody touched it. It's been there for over 3 years. You know. But
what do you think about that?
It was just crazy. Yeah. But also, I just want you to check your life, please, because I know that we're all giving you life. We love the show. I look forward to the show. That's my only outlet. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm going through a lot right now. A lot. And I'm trying to pick that stuff up. But like I said, I know that everybody is giving you life. So just check in on your life, okay?
Yeah, well, I know that you two be playing around with me. You know what I mean? They do. They be playing around with me. But you know, getting back to your nephew and this whole camera thing like that. You know, first of all, that's private property, so nobody should ever be able to remove anything from private property. You know,
and see, exactly. I didn't mean to cut you off, and that's why I was telling my daughter, don't call them. Please don't call them yet. You know. But she said, well, Mom, if I don't call them, and before they left, they said, we'll give you a receipt for anything we take. Okay, they came all up here in my bedroom. The only thing they done was tore my closet all apart. Yeah. And then his bedroom was right next to mine. But there's nothing in his room. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I would share that. Yeah, but I think what they had to do, because I'm like, too many of y'all get out of here. And Pittsburgh was running the show. So he said, well, Tracy decided to give us a hand. You know, well, you know, he's just a little small. He's nice and lean, but he's put in early 20s. But point being, you don't need all them people. But there's other people that have been through much worse than me, you know. But that was just my first time ever hearing of something like that. Them taking the camera. Now, you done it for a reason. You weren't supposed to be here. Yeah. When my daughter here called, she said the Tracy police was here in my home. And she said, no, the Tracy police weren't there. And she said, I said the Tracy police were here. I have a couple of their badges. She said, only the sheriff was supposed to be here. We're not in Tracy, we're in Mountain House. Mountain House is nothing but a bunch of houses, you know. But anyway, I didn't tell you guys be here too long. But I just wanted you to check on your life, okay? And I know you keep saying, pictures like, I know that you're getting more life than what's coming up. I don't know what's happening. But check into it, okay?
I will.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. Love you guys. Love everybody in the chat.
Love
Okay, Troy. You too. Y'all
Okay,
take care.
you too.
Love you too. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Have a good
All
one.
right. You guys too. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
You too. You.
Yeah. See, there's always some.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit right there.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is that, and I honestly think my opinion of that is that you have to reach out to a lawyer that deals with either police brutality or police that deals with just the police. Because any other lawyer is not going to pick up anything like that. It's not so much of a case, but it's more of a consultation to see what your grounds was. Because number one, they shouldn't even enter the house without a warrant. As soon as you walk up to the door, you give them a warrant. And the warrant has to state that you're able to remove things from the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the warrant has to state. And it was just supposed to be the sheriff there. Why are the regular cops there? The sheriff is supposed to came there. There should have been no regular cops there like that. So she needs to reach out to either a lawyer or reach out to.
Well, the thing is,
state representative.
There are things that vary from state to state. Like even whether a sheriff comes to your house or not. Like we don't use sheriffs in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Not for police activity. Even when we do evictions, we call him the sheriff, but it's really a tenant landlord officer. So we from state to state, county to county, you have to check the laws in those states about that deal with local laws that may allow them or prevent them from being able to do certain things legally. So I would encourage her to find that out first. But I'm sure that it's pretty universal that private property is private property. Now, if you're talking about removing the cameras or seizing the cameras in order to investigate some things that a suspect may be accused of or suspected of, there may be grounds to justify them taking the cameras, but you're supposed to have an inventory about what has been removed from a house, from a premises.
Also, it's supposed to be in writing. As soon as you come there, the first thing that warrant states, yeah, you're supposed to present it. Yes, Miss So and So, or Miss Cheryl Halsey, we're here. We have a warrant, and we are allowed to remove certain things from the house if we see needed. And it states that in the warrant.
It does, but it doesn't necessarily state exactly what things that they can remove if they find, because they don't know what they're going to find. So a search warrant can cover a lot of different things. So that's what I'm saying. They may have had legal grounds for it. It doesn't sound good, but you never know, depending on what the laws are for that state and for what the offense was that warrant covered. But this is why I tell motherfuckers, man, stay away from the legal system. Stay out of that shit, especially on a criminal level. It don't be working for you. You know what I mean? You are always on the bad side of the gun. Always. That shit. You on the bad side of the gavel too. So
yeah, well, every time it's like Michael J. Shit. You get on the other side of the gavel, it'll be like Michael Jackson in the Wiz playing a scarecrow. When he say you can win, he's not winning, bro.
It's a fact.
He's not winning.
That shit.
And that's one thing I try to, especially if it's fed charges. It takes me out because people get brought in front of the judge and they get convicted and then they get sentenced. And the judge says, you got 172 months. And they be like, yeah, I got months. Yeah, having years up.
Yeah. All right. Omar in the chat says a search warrant, and Omar is a lawyer too. So he says a search warrant has to be specific of what you're searching for, and an arrest warrant is just to arrest. You can take anything. Mm-hmm. You can take anything you find in plain sight. You can't. He said you can take anything you find in plain sight. You can't even lift a piece of paper. So I think he meant to say you can't take anything in plain sight. So
you can't take anything. So
Yeah.
pretty much a search warrant
with an
it has to be
arrest
specified.
warrant, with an arrest warrant, you can't take anything. But a search warrant,
Right.
you may
can.
yeah.
So she
Like
has
you
to
said,
look at that
specific
warrant.
thing.
Because I think she said they searched the house, but then gave it a warrant later.
Well,
Did you say that?
the way it's supposed to work, even though sketchy, like
Yeah.
so let's say they have an arrest warrant and they came to get your little brother. You can have pounds of coke on the table when they come in there. They can't take that pounds of coke, but a couple of hours later, guess what's going to happen?
Search warrant.
Brand new, nice shiny one. You know what I mean? But that shit gonna be on the thick. This shit is gonna be on the thick construction paper. Like, yeah.
Resume paper. Matter of fact, they're gonna get it over the phone. Hold on, I'm gonna put her on the phone here. Here, you go to judge.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Those search warrants they often get approved quick. But anyway, getting back to what we was talking about, man. You know, this whole tracking. Well, we didn't start talking about tracking yet, and since we getting a little late in the show, I want to talk about tracking a little bit more because tracking somebody can be a very personal thing. You know, whether you're talking about cell phones or other property, dealing with employees at a job, or whether you're talking about if you signed a contract to finance a vehicle and they have a tracking system on the car that you bought. So if you miss payments and they need to repo the vehicle, they can do it, or even hit the kill switch. You go out there to try to start your car up, that shit ain't going nowhere. You give up that debit card. Yeah, we can turn it back on, but right now your shit down. So tracking on that from that standpoint can be a pain in the ass, but tracking becomes so personal because lovers are doing a lot of tracking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them damn air tags and shit. Like, your girl think you've been riding out or not being in the places where you've been saying that you are. Throw a little air tag in under the seat in your car. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, so you home? Yeah, babe, I'm home, I'm in bed, I'm chilling, and I ain't doing nothing. Oh yeah, okay. She looking right on her iPhone like this nigga up I-95 all the way up in Jersey. He in Jersey, he in Linden. Talking about he home. You know what I'm saying? So, and although you didn't authorize that or whatever, it's not even a legal issue, but it's a personal issue. It's a relationship issue. And you probably have to decide if you want to be with somebody who would do something like that. You cheating is one thing, and them monitoring you or tracking you is another thing. So, is this really a consenting adult situation? It may be, and it might not be. Shit is rough. Air tags is, whew, iPhones, man. I always said iPhones is for suckers. For real, that shit is bullshit.
You got an iPhone?
My work phone is an iPhone. Other than that, for personal use, I'll let you give me HIV before I accept the iPhone. Fuck out of here. Okay, all right, maybe not HIV. All right, chlamydia. Yeah, I mean, no, fuck that HIV shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a little extreme. I ain't got that much against the company. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
But real shit. I'm like, All right, the clap iPhone. Clap iPhone. Fuck it. I got some amoxicillin, man. Give me the clap, man. Fuck it, man.
I don't need that iPhone.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to the clinic though.
You know what I mean? Yes. But that shit is, nobody ever be able to steal an iPhone from you or anything like that. But the shit, you know how many people that got locked up behind?
You see what happened down in the city last year when they broke into the whenever we had that riot downtown and they broke into the Apple store and they took all of our phones.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what y'all stealing them for. You dumb motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't getting away with none of that shit. They got all them serial numbers. Y'all, you basically took the camera with you and shit. You know what I'm saying? You might as well, man.
You take their phone to your house. They knocking on your door maybe about half hour, 45 minutes later.
If you remember, I mean not iPhones, but phones back before they started talking about that waterproof shit, and you used to be able to switch out your battery. Like if you had your phone for a while and the battery started getting weak, and so it wasn't holding the charge for a long time, you could order another battery and renew your phone. Restore the power of the length of battery usage in your phone.
Yeah.
When they started sealing phones up under the guise of, we making it waterproof or water resistant, so when you drop your phone into the toilet, you can just spray it with some disinfectant, but you still be talking. That was just a way for them to keep you from being able to change your battery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if you can't change your battery, you can't open it up. So you can never really fully turn your phone off. So you go over the bridge to take care of some violent business or some monkey business, and they know that you went over there. I watched the ID. The only channel out.
It's his off in towers.
That shit. They'd be like, yeah, it was pinging off this tower, in this tower, and he's in this vicinity right here. It looked like
Look, bro, I was looking at an episode. I was looking at this show on YouTube. This guy killed his mom. But he drove all the way from Arizona, all the way to California. He said, no, I haven't been nowhere. He went to this guy, every city, every state he went through. His phone hit that tower.
Yep, pinging off the towers.
He let him know. He left his phone home. He bought another phone. A track phone.
He bought a burner. Yeah.
A burner, like it was still going to work. But he didn't understand that he went inside Walmart and bought the track phone. So he got him came about the track phone. They got the receipt that he used. He went through every damn state. And then, after he killed his mom, he took the dog for a walk. And every camera kept caught him walking the dog.
He killed his mom, but took the dog for... That's some down low... Yo, you should go to hell just for that.
And then turned back around and said, no, why would I kill my mom? It got you on camera, bro.
Yeah,
they got you on camera. They got you on camera with the license plate to your car.
Yeah.
And they got the track phone. You got the information from the track phone. They got you on video in Walmart behind the track phone. Your phone that track phone is hitting every tower. They even got your mother phone with the number to the track phone you had.
Yeah. So only channel I really watch is the ID channel. So
this was an ID episode.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
I'm on that shit. I'll be like, yo, them phones, the internet is the fucking death of criminals. You know what I'm saying? So even the smartest criminals getting caught out there because of these cameras, but mostly because of the internet. The internet has not gotten anybody out of trouble. That shit don't do nothing but get you in trouble.
Well. I mean, shit. I mean, what's her name? Casey, whatever her name is, the one that killed her daughter and got away with it.
Casey Anthony.
Yeah, the internet supposed to, she got away with it, but then a piece of evidence came back after years down the line. I think it was this year, last year, showing that they didn't see that she was looking up certain things on how to do something with her body. That she was looking up things on the internet, saying how do you do things with her body after. Yeah. That's coming out now, though.
Yeah.
So now, but you can't retry it.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said,
the internet is undefeated, man.
It's undefeated, and it's mostly undefeated because it's public. It's public, and because you can record anything supposedly that happens in public, you get caught out there because of that shit.
Mm.
And you be fucked to hell and don't even recognize why. You don't understand. You understand why you up in court, can't make bail. You looking down, staring down the barrel 35 years. Okay. Well, you know now.
Mm.
You know what you gonna argue? Well, my car is private though. You can't take me in my car. Yeah. What was the car though? The car was in public. Yeah, the shit is wild. It really is. But you got to pay attention. Now, I'm not suggesting that you run amok or commit crimes or anything like that. But you know, the question of the legality or the question of ethics when it comes to the whole and consistency of when you're talking about being able to tape something, record something, or whatever in public, because there seems we've gone over a myriad of exceptions, or it just didn't turn out the way we thought it was going to turn out. So
right.
Yeah,
that's just amazing, man. The internet, like I said, the internet is undefeated. Shit. They just caught a teacher. It's on fucking TMZ. You know, they just caught a teacher having gangbangs with a student.
Yeah.
And she said that she didn't do it, but it's what they're pinging, them phone pinging off for certain things.
Now, what did it happen? It didn't happen in school. Please don't tell me it happened.
No,
I'm like, they can't be that dumb. I mean, like, come on. Help me.
My God, man. It's just crazy. Society is crazy, man.
It is.
Society is crazy. You know, and the thing is that, you know, it's amazing because you sit back and you do certain things and don't realize when you do it, do you realize you think they're not coming. But when they come, don't be surprised. You can't be surprised if they came and you know what you did.
Hey, they coming to get you. And you gonna get got. You know, I mean, the internet and surveillance has really benefited law enforcement. But it's not like they always follow the law either. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you need police to police the police.
Yeah.
And the police who are policing the police. It has to go back so far. You know, listen, I don't trust none of this shit, but a lot of this stuff is at your disposal. At your disposal. I mean, I'm talking about some exposal. What kind of word is exposal? Anyway, this stuff.
You went to Penn State and everything and all that, right? So you can create words. Come on.
I learned that on the streets. But anyway. So
I'm serious, boy. I'm telling you, this shit, like the guy, like Remember the guy got in a fight? It was a big white guy at the subway, right? He fighting with the little short black guy. I guess it was over drugs or whatever, this and other.
Mm-hmm.
He got in a fight. He pushed the guy. The guy fell on the track. As soon as he fell on the track, they came. Okay, the train came. It was in Philly, right? It happened in Philly, down on 34th Street on Market.
That's nasty. That's terrible. That's terrible.
And the guy and the tall white guy was smacking the bull all around and everything, but the black guy, the little short black guy, pushed him. Got his head in and he fell on the track.
Oh man, I hate hearing about that kind of stuff, man. I really do. Did somebody catch it? Did somebody record it?
They recorded on video.
Oh.
Yeah, matter of fact, you Google that shit, you'll see it.
Okay.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
That's because when I see you know when it hit TMZ, you know it's pretty much.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, George Foreman, man.
I know, right? That shit hit me hard. Yeah. I was like, that I didn't like that. Well, I don't like hearing about a lot of celebrity deaths, but I mean, he was a good dude, George Foreman. Good inspirational comeback story, that's for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Okay, I want to go before we get up out of here. I want to go to the poll that we put up. Do you think your job should be able to track a work phone or monitor social media accounts? 17% said yes, I represent them. 30% says no, as long as I'm not violating. Another 30% says I don't believe in tracking. And 22% says it's a slippery slope. Like maybe so, maybe not. Need a little bit more information. You know, like what are the parameters? You know.
But the thing I want to just know, the only thing I can say about that, right, is that if it's a work phone, I can understand you tracking because it's a work phone. Number one, when you leave work, just leave the phone at work, unless you have to bring it home. Unless you have to be on call with that work phone.
Yeah, they normally want you, even if you're not on call, you should be available for contact.
Well, if you want me available for contact, call me on my regular cell phone. I'm not taking that work phone home because you want to track me. You're tracking my whereabouts. You're able to track my whereabouts.
Well, here's the thing. They can't legally require you to answer your personal phone. They don't pay that bill. They do pay the bill. They do pay the bill for that work phone.
Yeah, yes, they do.
So you can choose. Now, hold on. You can choose not to answer the phone, but just understand that when you consistently don't answer your phone or are always unavailable, especially if you're in a managerial position, like, okay, you can not answer your phone because you're not on call. But if you're not available for people to ask you certain things or get information, and you're in a leadership position like that, you know, it's a violation of ethics. So they could slap you with exhibiting behavior unbecoming of a managerial position or whatever. And then next thing you know, the termination proceedings are already getting started. So yeah, legally, right then and there, there's nothing, they don't have any recourse. But privately, believe me, they're gonna get your ass the fuck on up out of there.
Okay, let me ask you one question. Because if there's been cops or there's been other people, like it was just something on the news about on YouTube about a lady cop that was a regular cop, but she was a lady cop in the daytime, and at nighttime she was a stripper. Mm-hmm. And she got terminated for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody posted it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think she should have been terminated. And the reason that I say that is because yeah, when you're a police officer, even when you're off duty, you still represent the office of the police department. So it's a safety issue. It's a safety issue. So when you are a stripper, you working in the sex industry, and sex in the sex industry breeds violence. Whether you're talking about violence as far as getting beat up, or violence as far as sexual assault is concerned or whatever. So if you don't know that this stripper that you've been lusting after or whatever is a cop, and so you pursuing her just like a regular citizen and a whole ass stripper that she might be. So now, man, come on, man. Now strippers. I know strippers, and they are hoes. You know what I'm saying? And they into what they into. We can judge or not judge. It don't take away from they actual activity. I ain't met too many strippers that wasn't hoes at some point. You know what I mean? I mean that's what you do for a living. It's the sex industry.
But you met a lot of hoes, but not strippers.
Yeah, and those are the ones I respect. So anyway, I don't respect no hoe that's working for money. You know what I'm saying? I come from the old school. Hoes I know, they look just looking for love and a little bit of dick. You know what I'm saying? Like all this money shit. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. But yeah, so you don't know that this stripper is a cop. So you see her somewhere away from the titty bar, stripper club or whatever, and now you're pursuing her, and like it can make life for her very, very dangerous. Her living that double life. So at the very least, she should have divulged to the police department that, yeah, I do this little stripping on the side. Now they wouldn't have let her do it. It's a conflict of interest. So yeah. Shit, and shit. If you a cop, I mean, shake down a drug dealer or something like that. You ain't supposed to need you're supposed to need an extra job. You a cop? What kind of cop are you? Mm-hmm. So As a matter of fact, the strip club should have fired her ass too. Like, wait a minute, hold on, let me get this straight.
You Bravo?
You know what I mean? Like, you a cop on the side? Oh hell no. Now listen. Here are the jobs that are acceptable for you being a stripper: CNA, home health aide, hairstylist.
College.
No. That's that A&E Hallmark Channel bullshit. Oh yeah, she was just stripping to put herself through college. I ain't never met a stripper that was putting themselves through college with no stripper money. Now, if you want to tell the truth, like she was only stripping so she could get a Louis bag in a car. That makes sense. I can prove that. You know what I mean? Like she was cooping and making sure that those school uniforms was bought. And she was taking care of Miss Selma. So, you know what I mean? Like, like I said, if you're a hairstylist, a CNA, or a home health aide, then you are approved. Those are stripper approved occupations. Anything else after that? Nah. No. Shout out to all those CNA stripping assholes out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, man, they famous for the shit. Yeah, they famous for the shit. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. CNA is an honest profession, and it's a profession that you have some free time, in the middle of the night from the hours of let's say 11 o'clock to around 3. Where you make your real money. where you make your real money. All right, man, I gotta let you go. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Always a pleasure, man.
That's what's up, man. Hold on, before you go, Seka Sala is saying basically what I'm saying. He says, Seka Sala says strippers nowadays make money and spend it all the next week on dumb shit. Remember a chick used to tell I remember a chick used to tell her kids she works on a cruise ship. Cruise ship. Yeah. Yeah. That's where she worked on, right? That's where she worked. She worked in a building in the hood painted all black. If you know, you know. All right.
You know. And you know I know that building.
No sign on that motherfucker, but yeah, there's a lot of people double parked outside. And they somewhere around 12, somewhere around midnight to around 3-4 in the morning. Yeah, that's where they gonna be. You can reach them there. A lot of beautiful women going inside. All right, man. I'll let you later.
Also with clear hills. A lot of beautiful women with clear hills.
Well, they some wear the uniform going in, and some go in and get right when they get in there. It all depends.
Yeah. Well, holler at your boy, bro.
All right, man. Have a good day. Be safe out there.
You too, man. All
right. Good stuff. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 22nd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Malcolm Bowles, my man. Go get him, Malcolm Bowles. Happy birthday to you. And comedian Toure Richardson. And also SD Curtis, last but not least. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 22nd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. A rock out, block on and do the damn, the rock out. Block on and do the damn rock out. Block on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And I said, go hard, go for yours. And remember, yo, they got a camera, yo, and they might be filming you and others. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You out there in the world, but you got to make sure you be thorough. Don't let anybody throw a camera in your face, especially when you're trying to be private, taking up your space. And they in your space. You can get them out, but don't punch them in the mouth. What's that about? You ain't trying to avoid trouble to get in trouble. You got to stay out of trouble and do it on the double Dutch. I'm talking about such things that to keep you out from under a crutch. And the crutch is something that you need to walk. And you got to walk on your own. You listen to the tone. I ain't trying to raise my voice, just trying to make sure you have the right choice. I'm going to tell you like toys that you play with. Don't play in nobody's face. Make sure that they clear, give you 6 feet of space. It's going to turn out all right. It's going to be okay. Yo, listen to the things I have to say. We'll be back tomorrow around 1:30. Yo, until that time, really don't hurt me. It don't hurt yourself. Try to be peaceful. I'm going to do this thing in front of y'all and tease you just a little bit. I ain't going to offend nobody. Everything is going to be all right. It's like a real party. It's like a gangster party. No, it ain't no gangster party. Ain't nobody gangsters. Too old for that shit. You too old for that stupid shit. You still on that shit. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. for another Urban Therapy with Sun show. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way out. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? All right. Be good, be peaceful. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Don't be a hater all your life. Yeah, I mean, don't be a hater all your life. Peace, y'all.